Hi guys! Today I will show you how to create stunning images based on 3D scenes. Everything will be done for free without any costly subscriptions and locally on your GPU. All of that is possible thanks to NVIDIA AI Blueprints, which are pre-built, customizable AI workflow templates designed to help you kickstart AI projects faster. They use NVIDIA inference microservices to run AI models quickly and efficiently on your GPU. They are optimized, ready-to-use building blocks that let you deploy powerful AI models with minimal setup. They're ideal for developers, 3D artists, and everyone experimenting with AI without needing to build everything from scratch. Today, we will be using a blueprint called 3D Guided Gen AI RTX directly in Blender with ComfyUI. This allows you to turn your 3D scene into a stunning 2D image guided by your prompt and composition using the NIM-powered model. I am testing this on my new NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090, which we received from the NVIDIA team, and the generation times are crazy fast. I get an image after about 10 seconds. But that's just one example. NVIDIA offers many other AI blueprints. You can find them all on their website. The link will be in the description below. To check which ones are available for consumers, just turn on the Run on RTX filter. Before I show you how to do all of that, let me show you how to install everything. In the description, you will find a link to this GitHub page, which will guide you through the installation process. The first step is to download the NIM prerequisite installer and run it. Before you start, make sure virtualization is enabled in your BIOS settings. It depends on your motherboard. If you are not sure how to do it, you can ask ChatGPT for help. You will have to restart your computer in the middle of the installation. After the restart, the installation will finish. Great! The next step is to run the command prompt. Type CMD in the search and run it as an administrator. We will be installing a few things using commands. Copy the first command to install Git. Type the Y key and confirm with Enter to agree to the agreement terms. Everything will be downloaded and installed automatically. Then, copy the second command to install the Microsoft Visual C++ package. If you don't have Blender already installed, use the third command to install it. Important note: once Blender has been installed, you must open it and then close it to properly set the paths needed by the Blueprint installer. Great! The next step is to obtain a Hugging Face API access token. You can use this command to check if this step has been done before on your PC. If the variable is not defined, follow these steps. Go to the Hugging Face website and log in, or sign up if you don't have an account yet. Once you're logged in, go to Settings and Access Tokens. Create a new token. Change the type to Read and add a name. Once the token is created, copy it and paste it into the command prompt with this text before. You should see the success message like this. Then you have to agree to the FluxDev license agreement by visiting these two pages. Great! Now you can install Blueprint. Open a command prompt at the location where you would like the Blueprint files to be installed. Make sure you have more than 10 GB of free space there. I want to install it here. You can open a command prompt quickly by typing CMD here. Next, use this command to download the blueprint using Git. This should be quick. As you can see, we have a bunch of files and folders created. We have to run this file, but it is recommended to do it using the command prompt. We need to be at this location. To do so, we can use the next command. Now we can simply copy and paste the name of this file. Installation will take up to 20 minutes, depending on download speed. Once complete, the installation will list the ComfyUI path and Python path. This information will be used to set up the Blender ComfyUI add-on. In Blender, open Preferences and go to Add-ons. Enable the ComfyUI Blender AI node. In the ComfyUI path and the Python path configuration section, paste the paths shown at the end of the Blueprint installation process. Great. To complete the installation process, we have to open the Blueprint Blender file. You will find it in the Blender folder inside your documents. This file contains a ready-to-use scene setup. Click the Launch Connect to ComfyUI button to start a local ComfyUI server instance. It may take up to 2 minutes to start the service and establish a connection. You can open the system console to check if there are any errors with the process. Once the connection is established, click the Run button. The first time the Flux NEM is utilized, it will need to download models and set up the Flux NIM container. This process can take up to 20 minutes or more, depending on the connection speed. If it takes more than 30 minutes to run, it may time out and give an error. If so, you'll need to run it a second time, which should succeed. I got a different issue that guys from NVIDIA helped me to solve. In my case, nothing was being downloaded. If you have the same problem, here is the fix. Find the nim.py file and edited it using a code editor. In line 207, remove the number sign to make it active. Then, comment the line 208, save changes, restart Blender, and try again. It worked in my case on 2 different pieces. Now, we are ready to generate. For example, we can move this fountain to the left and generate again. You can see that the GPU usage will increase to 100%. Then, after a couple of seconds, we have a new image. That's amazing. After everything is set up, let me explain how it works. We use a combination of making changes to the viewport and to the prompt to get a new image. Let's change the fountain to this boat. And let's add a new prompt describing a new scene I want to generate. We can paste the prompt here. Then, simply click the Run button. Here is the result. We didn't get the water, but don't worry. All we have to do is to modify the prompt a bit. Paste the new prompt and run it again. Simple as that. As I said at the beginning, NVIDIA blueprints are ready-to-use blocks with no setup required. Let's cover other settings. Here you can change the model. Different models will give you different results. Closing Blender after the Flux NIM has been loaded may leave it running in the background, which can consume your system resources. The best practice is to stop it when it is no longer needed, or before exiting Blender. Change it here to stop and click the Run button. If this doesn't work, you can find a workaround on the installation page, which you can find in the description. Here we can change the resolution of the output image. And here you can change the seed. If you generate a new image with the same settings, prompt, and seed, you will get the same result. If you are looking for a different result, just change the seed. If you select this icon, you will get a random seed with each generation. Here you can specify where to save the generated images. By default, they are saved in the ComfyUI output folder. You probably noticed that our output resolution doesn't match the viewport's resolution. Let me show you how to fix this. Let's make this window bigger and click this little printer icon. Here we can set the same resolution as the output. We have to zoom out a bit to see the boundary. Let's generate. All right, let me show you how you can use it on your Arvis projects. Here is the scene from Evermotion I will be using in this tutorial. First, let me show you what to do to get the same setup we've used before. We need to import the nodes. Go to File, Append, and choose our example file. Click Append. Go to the Node Tree folder and choose the Guided Gen AI file. Great! Next, we have to open it in a window. I want it here, instead of the timeline. Choose the ComfyUI node. Then here, choose the file we've appended before. Great! Let's close this window to have more space. Next, let's divide the viewport vertically to show the outputs. Change the viewport to the image editor. Choose the output here. All is set up. Let's start by adjusting the resolution. Then set the viewport resolution to the same values. Also, let's adjust the camera's focal length. Great! I will add a simple prompt and make the first generation. Wow, the result is really good. The great thing about this workflow is the ability to quickly move elements in the scene and generate the same image. The image is almost the same, and the tree position has been updated. Then we can edit the prompt to add elements to the scene, for example, a path that leads to the house. Or specify the lighting. If you don't like a generated image, just change the seed and try again. Much better this time. We can also create a specific scenario, like a rainy scene with wet vegetation, for example. Or a winter scene. Anything can be done quickly. You can use it to quickly send ideas to the client, for example. You probably noticed that the architecture is slightly different each time. For a final image, you can render the buildings with the lighting and mood similar to the generated image and combine everything together in Photoshop. You will save a ton of time on the surroundings. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Bye-bye!